this. There we go. You can connect to this, to there. That connects to that. Bum.
Oh, this one's going to be a long wait.
For
Concrete to load.
okay.
That's halfway there, but it takes about a minute to refill 600 or so, and I need 800 each placement. Each 5 long placement at least. Ma'am, research complete.
I'll check that out in a moment.
My character's doing the max headroom thing.
Choppy.
So I watched Pixels this weekend. I noticed it was on Netflix. I had never watched it before. I'd seen bits and pieces of it, but...
Sounds familiar, but not like completely ringing a bell.
Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, okay.
Kevin James plays the president. And aliens... So in the 80s, there was a national arcade championship.
Okay.
And NASA decided that they were going to include the VHS tape of the arcade play at the championship in a probe that they sent out to space. And if an alien species ever found it, they'd get a little glimpse of, what human life was like.
Yep.
And aliens, I don't know how, in 30 years, aliens got the tape. And thought it was a challenge to battle.
Okay.
So they created all of the video games as their warriors.
All right.
Yeah. It was a funny movie.
Nice.
It wasn't completely traditionally Adam Sandler funny, but it was still funny.
Still entertaining.
Yeah. Geronimo says Hynix must have had a sale going on the day they spec'd out servers. 8 gigs of RAM for only $5. $5,
Five.
$5.
$5.
Tree fitty.
Good price. Oh god, the lag.
Guess what I'm doing, Trevor?
Okay, building. The server cannot handle the intensity of the highway.
Yeah, it'll get over it.
Once it's built, it like when nothing's being built, it seems to be fine. It's just when it's being built, it's not having fun.
Okay, that's true. You know what's funny?
So
You know the issue that there is with the holograms. If I go back
yes.
to the beginning of it, it's fine. I have no issues. It's as I get further on, as I've used more and more materials, it gets worse and worse. Armada? Yes. Well, I listened to it. I didn't read it. Or were you asking Scrubby? Because Armada was also, you know, they also had The Last Starfighter. Oh yeah, I loved it. Stack them up, Trevor.
Yeah, I wish they'd make this work slightly differently, but this is what we get to work with.
Lately, I've been listening to. I finished. The second Isaac Asimov book I've listened to. The first one I listened to was iRobot, and then I listened to The Gods Themselves. That one was pretty good.
I don't know if I've never listened to an audiobook. I don't think I have. How is it? Do you ever find you just stop paying attention?
No. It really, so I'm particular. I got spoiled with the first books I listened to. They were read by
Morgan Freeman?
no. Almost as good though. They were read by oh my god. He's like the mega nerd. He's the nerd god. Fuck. Why can't I think of his name? I can tell you the character name he played on Star Trek, but I can't think of it.
Was it the guy with the glasses?
Yeah, Wesley Crusher. He played Wesley Crusher.
I don't know any of the character names, but was it LeVar? Was it I can't.
No,
I'm
not
probably
LeVar
saying-
Burton. No,
Okay,
no.
that's the only name I knew.
No, he played the kid that was on the bridge. He played Wesley Crusher, Dr. Crusher's son.
Okay.
My goodness. Come on, somebody, spit it out there for us. Because my brain is shut down for the night already.
Brain is not braining. To be fair, I'll probably not recognize the name regardless, but
He's lately he's done a lot. I say lately. In the last several years, he's done a lot with Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton. He's done a lot with tabletop games and whatnot.
okay. I know the name.
See,
Surprisingly know the name.
but so Will Wheaton, he gets very. You can tell he gets very animated when he's reading. Like he does. Some people just read the book in the kind of monotone, but just a tone. And
Yep.
then, like Will Wheaton did voices for every character
That's awesome.
in the book. You know, every character he would have a voice for.
Nice.
And so I kind of got spoiled with that kind of reading.
Yep.
Because I mean, to be fair, most people that read, that's how they hear it anyway. They hear different voices. They attribute different voices to the different characters in the book, and
Oh yeah.
hearing it voiced by the same tone all the time is just yuck.
Yeah.
You know, it's
not
just
as
like
engaging.
no, yeah, it's like this is not enjoyable. I am not going to continue listening to this one. And but so I got spoiled with him, so I listened to the previews before I actually decide to play the book or not. Like one that I'm actually reading in paperback version
Mhm.
is Leviathan Wakes, and that one I was like, you know what, I'll just try listening to it, because I'm like a quarter of the way through the book, maybe halfway through the book, but I don't just, a lot of times I don't just sit down and read.
Mhm.
You know, I'll sit down and read. I'll get a not a craving, but an urge to just sit and read, and so I'll sit and read, you know, for a couple hours, and then I'll put the book away, and then I won't have an urge to read for like months.
Yeah.
So I haven't made it through that book yet. And Leviathan Wakes is the first book in the series. They made a TV show on Sci-Fi with it. Several years back.
Okay.
Can't remember the name of the TV show right off the top of my head. Yeah, that's right. But they I was told read the books before I watched the TV show, because the TV show kind of picks up in the middle of the trilogy.
Okay.
So, but I tried listening to that one, and the guy's voice was just grating, and it was, I don't know, that it just that there wasn't enough tone change or anything like that. And like, yeah, no, I'm not going to listen to this.
Yep.
So it was my entertainment of choice while I was in jury duty every time.
Nice.
So I'd take that, and I'd read like 3 or 4 chapters while I was sitting waiting.
Oh, nice.
So
I thought you could say something you're listening to or reading while you're during the duty.
no. I was nice enough to the judge to put it away when he was talking. So,
Say, what do you think of this? I don't know.
I think I need
Do you want to hear about my book?
drink. Well, according to the book I'm reading right now, all detectives are just drunkards. So I don't know if I can trust a detective's word.
I'm doing research on this case as we speak.
But no, I just I just can only listen to certain ones, and if I preview it and I like the voice, and there's enough animation to their voice and everything,
Yeah.
it's so much of a better read or a listen.
It definitely does make it a lot more entertaining when it's like it's not just some monotone, just and then this happened, and it's like, oh god.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like listening to me on stream. So especially when I got a frog in my throat that won't clear out. I knew I should have had chicken instead of frog legs for dinner.
The good old fried frog legs.
Yeah, Will Wheaton read. He read. Was it Armada? Now I gotta look at my Spotify, what I've listened to. Audiobook. Oh. Not my library. Where's my... I guess on the mobile app you can't view your history. Ah, there we go. Listening history. I found it. Yeah. Goodness. Oh man. It only goes back to July. That sucks. So I listened anyway. I listened to Will Wheaton's biography. Um, and then I listened to Armada and Ready Player One. Those are the ones. Yeah, he's the one that. No, he didn't. Yeah, Ready Player One and Armada. Those are the ones he narrated.
Okay.
And then I listened to Ender's Game and Ender's Shadow, which are the first books in twin sagas. So Orson Scott Card wrote Ender's Game, turned it into a saga, wrote 4 books for it, and then he took one of the characters out of that or out of Ender's Game, and decided to do a saga for that character as well, the character Bean. And so he did the entire Shadow series as a twin or a shadow of the Ender series. And I've listened to the first book in each, but then I'm too cheap to pay the extra that Spotify wants. So
took a page out of my book. Too cheap.
yeah, because certain books they try to hook you with it. They try to, so like the Ender's Saga.
Yep.
Starts with Ender's Game. But if you want to listen to the remaining books in it, you either got to pay an extra subscription fee, or you have to buy the book. And I'm like, well, I'm listening to it on audiobook. I don't want to own the audiobook because I'm probably only going to listen to it the one time. I may go back and read it myself once, but I'm definitely only going to listen to it one time. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going to spend money like that, you know. I think it's $10 even. I'm like, I can just go buy it and read it myself. So, and all the money goes to the author instead of, or the majority of the money goes to the author instead of it going to various voice actors and the clearinghouse that set up the voice acting and reading and everything else. Not that they don't deserve it, but you know, they get it. They get their pay off of you know, companies like Spotify that people listen to them.
Yep.
You know, things like that. Kind of along the same lines of musicians. You would think that letting people play your music on streams and the like would be a huge desire. You know, because it's putting you out there, you know. And depending on the popularity of the streamer, could be putting you in front of millions of people that or thousands of people you wouldn't have been in front of.
Yeah, it could be giving you insanely good exposure.
Yeah. You know, it's the equivalent of what it used to be was take a record and give it to a radio station and ask them to play your record. You know, things like that. See, Geronimo, all the main books in the Ender series were so different. Oh, really? Look at all your zippies.
Zippity doo da here. There.
I will say the one thing I was not a fan of was Ender's Shadow was abridged. When I didn't realize that I was listening to the abridged one until it finished. It was 9 hours long, where Ender's Game was a 16-hour read, I think it was. I think it was a 16-hour read. But Ender's Shadow was 9 hours. And I was a little confused by it for a second, being so short. But I was like, maybe he just didn't write as long a book.
Yeah.
For being. And then it hits me at the very end of it that it's abridged. And so an abridged book, they cut, kind of like watching a movie trimmed down for TV to fit in the time slot.
Yep.
You know, they cut out parts that they didn't deem necessary for the story, and I'm like, no, I want to hear it all. And there's literally, it's like a 14 or 15 hour book, the unabridged version. But the abridged version was 9 hours. And I'm like, you sons of bitches.
Damn you.
Okay. So I need a tower there. I'm going to need a tower over there. Okay. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. 3.
Okay, so for hard drives, we got the alternate heavy encased frame, and then alternate coke steel ingot. So I'll get the last hard drive researching.
Putting in the hypertube when over by Ozone's fuel generators.
Nice. So they're both good. Yeah, so yeah, those are both good. I don't need any of them right now, but those will be good at some point for us.
Should be fine. Should have put one more. Dang it.
Slice, I'm working on an iron factory that will make 29,000 iron ingots per minute. Way more to go. Oh my god.